Right, so I'm here in Newport with Lee Robson, the Cluster Manager of Communities First. So Lee, if you just tell me a little bit about what you do in Communities First.
Well, Communities First is a tackling poverty programme for the Welsh Government. The Newport Central cluster, which I'm the manager of, is essentially the Pill community, Stow Hill and Maindee. Maindee is sort of over my shoulder that way. Stow is there where there's a big sort of car park that's now no longer there. It's been blown up on Sunday, so it's part of the work that we're trying to do. And obviously Pill community is further along the docks. So it's a tackling poverty programme, three main strands. One is increasing prosperity. Second one is to increase the learning amongst people in the community. And the third one is to increase health, I suppose. So there's a number of health projects that we run as well. So, and I run that project, £500,000 a year in this cluster, 10.5 members of staff, and it's a 2-year programme at the moment.
There's a lot of issues that young people and families in Newport face, and you help them with a lot of different challenges and improving their lives and changing things for them. How does that affect you?
How does it affect me? Well, I suppose, I've sort of been working in this field for longer than I care to remember, really. So, that goes back up from where I come from in Barry. I've worked in Cardiff, and I've always been in that field, really, working either in housing management or community development. And I suppose, trying to make a difference to people's lives is what I do for a living, but also I think it's what I do in my spare time as well.
Communities First seem to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. Would you say that's the main objective of what Communities First is all about?
Yeah, I think it is now, and there's been a change. I mean, the programme for the first 10 years was more about community development and increasing community involvement, if you like. I mean, I think the Welsh Government recognised that, we need to be a bit more targeted and make a bit more impact, I think, really. So, the programme has changed now, and it's much more targeted at looking and focusing on people who do need the help, either to upskill, get jobs, just benefit from the many learning opportunities that are out there, really. So it's more targeted, and in some ways, you can actually start to name people who have benefited from it, and I think that's the key thing, really. It's not a big abstract thing. It is about Hamza, who we talked to this morning, and other people, and I suppose that's where I get out of it. I can go home sometimes and actually you can see the difference it's made to people.
Yeah, as a manager, do you get much face-to-face time with people, or do you get to build relationships with those people?
Probably not as much as I'd like, I think. I mean, my main role is probably working more with partnerships and more like the community representatives and other people who are, if you like, the key movers and shakers in the patch. So people from the university, which again is over my shoulder. You've got some people who are, whether it's the CAB, whether it's Job Centre Plus. So my job really is around sort of developing the partnerships and the networks, I think, really. So not as much frontline as possibly I would like, but I'm probably a long way away from the coalface for a long time, really. But I still get to, I do get to pop in and have a little look at what's going on and get a bit of joy out of that, I suppose.
Communities First seems to be in partnership with a lot of different organisations throughout. Would you say the networking is successful?
It probably was better, and I think that's mainly about the shift in the programme, as I say, from community development to tackling poverty. So I think there's been a bit of a hiatus, if you like, where we have to now try and re-engage with partners. So we can certainly improve, and that's what one of my aims is over the next 6 months or so, is to rebuild some of those networks in a much more productive relationships, if you like. So so that we do focus on the outcomes, not just on the networks themselves.
And what's your favourite part about your job?
Favourite bit? I think, to be honest, it is probably getting out on the patch and just feeling the difference of it, because as soon as you come into Newport you can feel there's a real certain energy to it. It's a little bit it's very edgy, and I love being down in Pill. It's fantastic. Some great places in Maindee and some superb places around Stow, and just all the different characters and different shapes, sizes and different types of people that you bump into. I think that's my favourite bit of it. Yeah. Given that I live in Monmouth and I worked in Malvern Hills, which is incredibly sort of, I suppose, not that very diverse community. So I think the diversity of it is the great bit for me.
All right then. Thanks, Lee.
Okay.